As a surgeon who's dedicated decades to caring for older adults, I'm addressing you today not from a place of professional detachment, but with heartfelt urgency. Seniors, I'm pleading with you. Please stop consuming these 5 vegetables. They're quietly eroding your vision. You might believe your eyes are merely getting older. Perhaps you've observed that sunlight seems overly intense, faces become blurrier with ease, or reading starts to feel exhausting. Even if you avoid spending much time with screens or books, what if I revealed that the true offender isn't age or illness? It's sitting right there on your plate. I've witnessed this far too many times. Elderly patients who are generally healthy and mentally sharp suddenly start losing their sight gradually, without fanfare. One woman shared with me that she could no longer make out her grandson's face in the morning sunlight. Her vision dimmed, not due to any identified condition, but from seemingly harmless vegetables she consumed daily, cooked in methods she never second-guessed. Today, there's still time. I'll guide you through the 5 vegetables you need to eliminate from your diet. Not in the future, but beginning right now. If you're aiming to safeguard your eyes, maintain your independence, and cherish every remaining moment you have to behold. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed already, I suggest you click that button and enable the bell notification, so you won't miss any future health advice tailored especially for you. If this video resonates with you, drop a 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, enter a 0 to help me understand how to improve my content for you. 1. Spinach leftovers. Spinach leftovers, a concealed threat lurking in your refrigerator. There's an almost soothing quality to spinach. It's vibrant green, tender once cooked, and has always been viewed as a nutritious essential, particularly for seniors aiming to eat healthily and boost their iron intake. You encounter it in omelets, soups, pasta dishes, even in those creamy casseroles handed down across generations. But here's the aspect most people overlook. That reheated spinach from yesterday you have for lunch could be subtly injuring your eyes with each passing day, one bite after another. When spinach gets cooked and then kept overnight in the fridge, an alarming process begins. It starts a chemical shift. Naturally abundant in nitrates, spinach, after cooling and reheating, turns these into nitrites, substances that could heighten oxidative stress throughout the body. Put simply, nitrites have the potential to harm the small, fragile blood vessels supplying your retina. In the long run, such harm might result in macular degeneration, hazy vision, trouble adapting to bright lights, and even a slow, painless decline in eyesight. This isn't mere speculation, it's factual. I've treated patients in their late 70s who avoided smartphones entirely, never read under dim light, and had no history of diabetes, yet their vision deteriorated without explanation. When we examined their routines closely, a recurring habit frequently surfaced: the practice of consuming reheated spinach meals multiple times weekly, all to save effort, cut costs, or prevent waste. And I understand completely. None of us enjoys discarding food, particularly when it's as unassuming as a serving of sautéed spinach. But consider this. Is the portion of leftovers truly worth endangering your capacity to gaze upon the faces of your loved ones? The genuine peril of growing older isn't solely the losses we endure. It's the things we unwittingly surrender by clinging to routines that no longer benefit us. And if spinach poses such risks, picture what raw kale blended into your morning smoothie could be causing. The revelation might catch you off guard. If you're continuing to watch and discovering these revelations useful, kindly leave a number 1 in the comments to show you're on board with me. Now, let's proceed to the next item. Raw kale in smoothies. 2. Raw kale in smoothies. Not always as wholesome as they seem. Kale has emerged as the icon of nutritious diets. In every magazine focused on senior wellness, in every supermarket circular, kale gets lauded as a superfood brimming with fiber, calcium, antioxidants, and essential vitamins. It's hardly surprising that so many older individuals, eager to remain alert and vital, incorporate raw kale into their everyday smoothie habit. But suppose I informed you that your verdant beverage could be gradually clouding your eyesight. The reality is this: raw kale, when consumed excessively, can quietly disrupt your body's capacity to defend your eyes. Kale contains elevated levels of oxalates, which are natural elements that latch onto calcium and zinc, minerals vital for maintaining eye wellness, particularly in the retina and macula, the areas housing your central sight. As oxalates combine with these minerals, They create minuscule crystals that resist absorption, effectively depriving your eyes of the sustenance required to remain robust. I've encountered patients who follow all the proper steps. No smoking, consistent workouts, ample water intake, and still they arrive complaining of eye weariness, fuzzy sight, or an odd fog in intense sunlight. They're baffled. And upon inquiring about their eating habits, many boastfully declare, "I sip a kale smoothie each morning." They never anticipated that something so verdant, so pure, might carry unforeseen repercussions. This isn't meant to instill fear. It's about achieving equilibrium. Kale retains its benefits, but cooking it by steaming or sautéing reduces the oxalates, allowing its nutrients to become more accessible to the body. If you've been adding raw kale to your blender daily under the belief it's beneficial, perhaps it's moment to reassess that practice. Because if a leafy green such as kale can subtly obstruct the exact nutrients your eyes rely upon, what other items might be concealed in your kitchen, masked by a recognizable crunch and flavor? Let's discuss one of America's most cherished indulgences, pickled vegetables. Their taste is striking, but the fallout is equally potent. Pickled vegetables 3. Pickled vegetables. Flavorful yet fraught with peril. There's a sentimental charm to pickled vegetables. Be it the crisp snap of a dill pickle alongside your sandwich, the zesty kick of sauerkraut atop a bratwurst, or the sharp edge of pickled beets tossed in a salad. These items transport us to family cookouts, cherished recipes, and more straightforward eras. They deliver a bold, vibrant, lively tang. But lurking under that zest and heritage is a fact that's tough to accept. These items could be steadily impairing your vision. One mouthful at a time. Pickled vegetables brim with salt, and not merely a dash. Just one portion might hold hundreds of milligrams of sodium, well exceeding what aging eyes and vessels can tolerate without issue. Surplus salt elevates blood pressure, but more pointedly, it taxes the fine capillaries within the eyes, particularly those serving the retina. With time, this tension can compromise vessel integrity, causing microbleeds, obscured vision, and hypertensive retinopathy, a disorder that numerous seniors overlook until their sight has already started to wane. Even more troubling, many store-bought pickles include preservatives and synthetic dyes, elements associated with swelling and oxidative damage. These pose risks not only to your eyes, but overload the whole vascular network, encompassing circulation to your brain. That everyday pickle you savor for its subtle enhancement might in fact be blunting your acuity, in both perception and cognition. I've conversed with seniors who assured me, "I just have a couple of pickles daily. That couldn't possibly hurt, could it?" But as sight dims and recollections falter like a worn-out vinyl, we frequently yearn to rewind and correct those minor choices, such as grabbing that jar. And if your pickle routine wreaks such havoc, what occurs when a food you regard as beneficial for the heart, like garlic, begins to undermine your eyes as well? The discovery ahead could astonish you further. If you're persisting in viewing and deeming these observations worthwhile, please post a number 1 in the comments to indicate you're engaged. Now, let's advance to item number 4. 4. Garlic in high doses. Garlic in high doses. Potent yet perilous. Garlic has endured as a beloved element in American homes and globally, not merely as a seasoning cornerstone, but as a folk cure. For ages, it's been extolled as a guardian of the heart, a battler of cholesterol, even a cleanser of the blood. And honestly, garlic possesses remarkable attributes. But like so much in existence, excess of a beneficial item can stealthily evolve into a covert hazard. Particularly for seniors, when ingested in substantial quantities, especially uncooked or via potent supplements, garlic functions as an innate blood diluter. That might appear advantageous, above all for older folks wary of cardiac issues or stroke threats. But here's the detail many miss. Diluted blood can readily provoke small internal hemorrhages in vulnerable areas of the body, such as the eyes. The retina features intricate capillaries slimmer than a hair filament. As years accumulate, those conduits grow more brittle. Introduce a diluter like garlic, combined with drugs like aspirin or warfarin, and the likelihood of vitreous hemorrhage, floaters, and abrupt hazy vision rises markedly. Certain patients of mine likened it to peering through haze or detecting unexpected light bursts. They were unaware that the garlic they consumed with pride for better flow might have been precisely what disturbed the vessels sustaining their view. Moderation holds the secret. A single clove in your pasta sauce? Delightful. A raw garlic blend each morning piled with supplements? That's where the remedy shifts to detriment. Your system, particularly your eyes, craves sustenance, not excessive adjustment. So next time you grasp for that garlic pill, ponder. Am I aiding my body or subtly taxing it? Because if garlic, the earth's mender, can injure your eyes without a sound, then envision what the allure of something as basic as canned corn could be concealing. The secret within that amber, syrup-laden morsel might jolt you. Canned corn 5. Canned corn. Handy, yet robbing your sight. There's a profoundly reassuring aspect to canned corn. It's cozy, sugary, and radiant gold. A fragment of summertime preserved in metal. It graces supper tables nationwide, from holiday casseroles to casual weekday suppers. For countless seniors, it evokes comfort, simplicity, and security. But beneath that allure rests a subdued reality. Canned corn could be pilfering the sharpness from your eyes without your awareness. In contrast to fresh or frozen corn, which preserves a good deal of its inherent vitality, canned corn undergoes intense processing. In production, a significant portion of the crucial lutein and zeaxanthin, two robust antioxidants critical for shielding the retina, gets dissipated. These elements fulfill a pivotal function in blocking damaging blue light and warding off age-related macular degeneration, among the top triggers of sight impairment in the elderly. But when you turn to canned corn as a staple accompaniment, assuming it's benign, you're basically supplying your body with mere energy sans the safeguard your eyes urgently require. Compounding the issue, the majority of canned options come laden with additional sodium and sugar, frequently disguised under terms like seasoned or sweet kernels. Gradually, elevated sodium can heighten pressure inside the eye, stressing the optic nerve, while extra sugar fuels swelling, quietly wearing down not only sight, but general vessel condition. I've consulted elderly patients who insist, "It's merely corn. How could that cause trouble?" But repeated minor patterns daily mold the vitality we sustain in our advanced years. And at times, the seemingly most benign foods inflict the deepest enduring damage. So prior to cracking open that subsequent can, hesitate. Opt for fresh or frozen corn as an alternative. A straightforward adjustment that might aid in sustaining your skill to peruse, navigate, and identify the countenances you hold dear. Because having revealed what to avoid eating, the inquiry arises: which vegetables ought you to consume to hone your vision, shield your brain, and bolster your heart simultaneously? The solutions could already reside in your produce bin. 6. Eager to discover which vegetables genuinely mend and guard your eyes. After absorbing details on the vegetables that could gradually be dimming your sight, it's entirely logical to wonder, what ought I to consume in their place? Which items can genuinely bolster my vision, sustain my mental acuity, and assist my heart in remaining resilient as time passes? The encouraging aspect is that the solutions aren't tucked away in some distant wellness boutique or pricey additive. They're readily available at your neighborhood market, or perhaps even in your backyard if fortune smiles. Let's commence with carrots, the timeless victor for eye vitality. Laden with beta-carotene, they assist your system in generating vitamin A, a substance utterly vital for safeguarding the retina and improving low-light sight. Then consider the red bell pepper, frequently ignored yet subtly brimming with vitamin C and antioxidants that curb swelling and fortify the eye's vascular structure. Or think of kale. When softly prepared, it's a storehouse of lutein and zeaxanthin, dual elements that serve as innate shades for your retina, guarding against blue light and lessening the chance of macular degeneration. And overlook not the modest ripe tomato, replete with lycopene. It combats oxidative strain, not solely in your eyes but across your circulatory framework, aiding your heart and mind to endure youthfully longer. These aren't passing crazes or whims. They represent nature's offerings, validated by research, poised to grace your everyday meals. The essence lies not simply in consuming vegetables, it's in selecting the appropriate ones, prepared suitably, with mindfulness, steadiness, and purpose. But even the most beneficial vegetables forfeit their efficacy if we mishandle their preparation or time their intake poorly. Your post-meal actions might prove equally crucial as the contents of your dish, and that's precisely the territory we'll delve into shortly. Safeguarding your sight commences at the dining surface. Advancing in years doesn't equate to yielding your vision. It signifies gaining insight, growing more deliberate with each morsel, each pattern, each decision. The vegetables outlined today aren't inherently malevolent. Truthfully, several boast tremendous nourishment when handled and savored appropriately. But when we perpetuate damaging preparation methods or depend on excessively refined forms, we incrementally undermine the wellness of our eyes, our intellects, and our cores. Your eyesight extends beyond mere reading or motoring. It's about beholding your grandchildren's grins, observing the shifting seasons, and acknowledging the visages of your beloved. That sharpness merits defense. It's never beyond the point of redirection, of exchanging a hazardous plate for a restorative one. So, commence today. Re-examine your consumptions, your cooking approaches, and how those selections foster your vitality. Each modest alteration counts, for strong vision isn't exclusively youth's boon. It's sagacity's prize. And if this tidings moved you, disseminate it. Assist fellow seniors in shielding their sight prior to it being overdue. Because in defending our eyes, we don't merely perceive the globe, we remain tethered to it. These teachings aim to motivate you toward a full, genuine existence. Now, I'd relish hearing your thoughts. Pause briefly to contemplate, and relay one insight you've gained and intend to implement in your routine. Let's bolster one another along this path to adopting these realities. If this video delighted you, kindly comment with a 1. If not, you're welcome to remark with Shazer. Your input holds great value for us. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for additional material of this nature. Thank you for tuning in, and cheers to embracing life by your own rules.